There's been a lot of rumors over the past several weeks that Marvel Studios will be taking some big swings with the upcoming Avengers films to ensure that those films are a success. Except we all know the truth. That being, if they don't fix the multitude of problems that they have internally from a creative perspective, they can take all the swings they want, but in the end, I guarantee they will be striking out again. Let's discuss.
Our content sucks. Our content sucks.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Legendary director Sam Raimi has recently expressed interest in directing the upcoming Avengers Secret Wars, saying, quote, "I love 90% of the Marvel heroes that I've read in the great Stan Lee Marvel Universe comic books. I would love to work with Marvel again. I hope they had a good experience with me. They haven't asked me yet, but I hope that they do."
Obsessed much.
So for a while now, there's been a lot of rumors circulating that Marvel Studios has been trying to recruit Sam Raimi to direct a Avengers film. But this quote appears to debunk those rumors because it doesn't look like Sam Raimi and Marvel Studios have had any communication since Multiverse of Madness. If you are looking at this in a broad sense, I don't know why Marvel Studios hasn't contacted Sam Raimi. Now, I've made my feelings about Multiverse of Madness very clear. I do not think that that film is 100% Sam Raimi's vision. His influence was clearly there, and you can see his DNA in different scenes. But the problem is those moments were surrounded by your typical MCU bullshit.
No, don't like that.
And that probably has a lot to do with the script and Marvel's formulaic nature than it does Sam Raimi himself. At first glance, I have no idea why someone as talented as Raimi would even want to work with Marvel in the first place. Especially considering we have examples of numerous claims where people did not have creative freedom while working for them. So given all of that, I can't really say that I understand Sam Raimi's perspective here. The only thing that I can think of, and this is based on his self-proclaimed love of Stan Lee's Marvel Comics, is that he has yet to realize that the Marvel Comics of old is dead and gone, and it's kind of been replaced by this company that is Marvel in name only. Sam Raimi would not be playing in Stan Lee's sandbox. He would be playing in Kevin Feige's sandbox, and yes, those are two completely different things.
That makes sense.
But from the sounds of it, and taking him at his word, he had a decent experience while working on Multiverse of Madness. So I honestly don't know what to believe here. I do think bringing Sam Raimi on board makes a lot of sense for Marvel, because right now they are looking to latch on to anything that will restore some level of credibility to their brand. And Sam Raimi is one of those names in the world of filmmaking that still carries some weight. In fact, I would say that the biggest dipshit in this whole situation is Sony. Why they haven't called Sam Raimi to make Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, I will never understand. It would be a guaranteed box office hit that they desperately need, and it would counterbalance their apparent lack of understanding about what to do with the Spider-Man property. But I digress.
She didn't see that coming? That's not how it works.
The truth is that when it comes to Disney Marvel Studios, they could bring in Martin Scorsese himself to direct the next Avengers movie. Not that he would want to, but it wouldn't matter unless the creative was right. And part of that is using the right cast of characters to get people interested in this brand again. If the rumored team is any indication of what we will actually get, I don't think there's a living director on Earth who could make that garbage work. Not a single needle mover in this entire roster. In fact, most of those characters have already been associated with unsuccessful projects of their own. Now, if the rumors are true, things have changed a little bit, and Marvel is going to be using nostalgia to sell the next Avengers movie. And once again, they are using nostalgia because that's pretty much all they have at this point. Using the likes of Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman, and yes, even Tobey Maguire will boost ticket sales initially. But what happens when that hype fades? What happens when that initial jolt of excitement is gone? Then the movie turns into No Way Home, and suddenly more and more people realize how flawed it actually is.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
The only way to prevent this is to give capable people full creative control to craft a story that resonates with audiences beyond your shallow theme park ride emotions. Is Sam Raimi the type of director that is capable of that? Sure. But we all know that Marvel is never going to give him or anyone else full creative control because that's not the culture that they've established. Right now, everything has to fit in with what's already been established in the universe. And that, to me, has been and will always be boring. And let's not forget, for as much as Sam Raimi is claiming to love Marvel, and I'm sure he does, and again, I think he's talking about the comics and not necessarily the movies. And how do we know that? Well, aside from his quote here, let's not forget that he admitted to having only seen 4 or 5 MCU movies while promoting Multiverse of Madness, which I don't personally have a problem with. Actually, I envy him when you consider the amount of garbage that I've sat through watching these films.
Move this man!
But the thing is, if you remember, MCU fanboys criticized him for this. And they even criticized Multiverse of Madness for being too Sam Raimi and not enough MCU. Imagine saying that and displaying a complete lack of respect for a living legend like Sam Raimi. I made a video about this at the time talking about how MCU fanboys do not deserve Sam Raimi, and I still stand by that. Because they don't appreciate filmmaking, they appreciate Easter eggs and cameos. But I'm sure some of them are probably praising the possibility of his return now, right? They're a fickle bunch.
S-O-F capital T. Soft.
Listen, Sam Raimi has done enough in his career to obviously earn my respect. And I'm willing to give him alone the benefit of the doubt. Because I know what he's capable of in an ideal workplace environment. Who I will not give the benefit of the doubt to is Marvel Studios. Because any faith I had in them to craft a quality product evaporated a long time ago. Best case scenario in this situation is that Sam Raimi is allowed to do what he does and create something special. But even if he does, let's be clear, Marvel will not be saved. Because they will most likely go back to doing the same dumb shit they were doing prior to him being there, right after this film is released. Like pushing characters down our throat that nobody gives a shit about.
Anybody care about what I want? I do. Shut up. Get out.
There are serious problems that need to be addressed at the core of Marvel Studios before we can even have the conversation of them redeeming themselves. But right now, as things stand, there is no redemption in sight. No amount of Deadpool 3s and nostalgia bait is going to mask how inept they are creatively. Whoever takes this job or any job at Marvel Studios is instantly fighting an uphill battle. Because it's not about what you want in that situation. It's about what's best for the machine. And if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, that's not the most effective way to create films.
Y'all be cool. Right on.